Are Gen Z men finally turning against porn? A quiet rebellion might be starting. For decades, porn has been one of the most destructive addictions in American life, and one of the most ignored. As the internet took off in the 1990s, the porn industry found a way to deliver porn to every man, woman, and child. And as hyper-individualism spread through elite culture, porn was reframed as harmless, a victimless crime. But porn isn't harmless. It's addictive, isolating, and soul-crushing. It saps men of their agency and leaves them glued to screens instead of building relationships, families, or meaningful communities. And when men are in relationships, porn can quietly erode the trust and intimacy that holds love together. But here's the hopeful news. A new survey highlighted by University of Virginia professor Brad Wilcox shows that Gen Z men are significantly more supportive of restricting access to online porn than millennials. As the damage of digital addiction becomes clearer, younger men might be waking up. That said, the survey also revealed something troubling. Men aged 45 to 54 overwhelmingly oppose restrictions on online porn, even as 81% of women in the same age group support these restrictions. Guys, wake up. So we have to ask, why did porn proliferate? Who profits from it? Why isn't porn considered a public health crisis? I'd also love your feedback to this survey. Please add your comments. Do you think online porn should be more restricted? You can read more in my book, American Restraint, available now on Amazon. Okay, hello America, and welcome to the latest episode of American Restraint podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Trepanier, author of American Restraint. If you're new to the show, we like to thoughtfully examine the current brokenness of America. But we like to do so by looking at potential solutions, like federalism, to help heal America. We also look closely at some of the root causes of America's brokenness, and today we're pushing back on Hollywood and the porn industry. As always, please subscribe to help get the word out. Okay, so the fall of the Hays Code and the rise of hyper-individualism is where we're going to start today. From 1934 to 1968, Hollywood voluntarily followed the Hays Code. It was a moral framework that restricted profanity, nudity, sexual content, drug use, and violence in films. But as hyper-individualism surged in the 1960s, the Hays Code was replaced with a much looser MPAA rating system. At the time, Jack Valenti, who was the president of the MPAA, tried to calm critics. Most of our movies will continue to be family movies. They'll continue to be rated G. These adult-rated movies, they'll always be the tiny minority. And that didn't happen. Since 1968, over half of all movies have been rated R. And now, just try finding a top streaming show that isn't rated TVMA. Hollywood labeled pushing the envelope as artistic freedom. But where did Hollywood's obsession with no boundaries take our culture? One Hollywood director shared this disturbing insight. The weirdest part of directing Game of Thrones was when you would have one of the executive producers leaning over your shoulder going, "You can go full frontal, you know. This is television. You can do whatever you want." So I was like, okay, well, you're the boss. This particular exec took me aside one day and said, "Look, I represent the pervert side of the audience, okay? Everybody else is the serious drama side, but I represent the perv side of the audience, and I'm saying I want full frontal nudity in this scene. So you go ahead and do it." So just to be explicit here, perverts are producing content in Hollywood. I'd love your comments. Do you think Hollywood's no boundaries mentality is good for American culture. All right, entertainment is the new national diet. Over the last 50 years, American entertainment has played a key role in the coarsening of our culture. Our entertainment diet has overloaded us with hedonism, anger, and division. This isn't about moral panic, it's about cultural patterns. Hollywood doesn't just reflect society, it shapes it. And when entertainment becomes saturated with sex, violence, and nihilism, those messages seep into our social fabric. So let's be clear, entertainment isn't evil. But in an era of hyper-capitalism, it's become a product designed not for art or truth, but for maximum clicks, views, and profit. That's how we got to the mass market normalization of porn, and how cultural elites enabled it every step of the way. So let's talk now about porn as a public health crisis. Today, porn is a $100 billion industry. Gosh, it's probably changed in the last day. Who knows? Just keeps going up. Pornhub alone attracts over 3.5 billion visits a month, and it generates billions of ad impressions daily. It's the 10th most visited website in the world. This isn't fringe, it's mainstream. And it's affecting every generation. Decades of studies link porn consumption to higher levels of sexual aggression, broken relationships, and poor mental health. So much for victimless crime. One survey estimated that 90% of children ages 8 to 16 have seen porn online. 70% said they first encountered it by accident, often while doing homework. Actor Terry Crews, who openly overcame a porn addiction, described it this way. It changes the way you think about people. People become objects, things to be used rather than people to be loved. This dehumanization is one of the core moral failures of hyper-individualism, and it's why porn is not just a personal vice, it's a cultural toxin. How did porn become normal? Caitlin Flanagan, writing in The Atlantic a few years ago, told the story of a small-town California high school where the student newspaper profiled a teen porn star, treating her decision as just another after-school job. Some administrators resisted. First Amendment activists pushed back. Eventually, the article ran in the student newspaper. As Flanagan asked, where were the adults? How did porn become so ingrained in American society that high schoolers were given an excuse to watch porn and champion a minor's role in the industry? Flanagan's conclusion was chilling. Culture is progressive and cumulative, and so is porn, restlessly seeking and crossing the next boundary, and thereby making whatever came before seem tame and ordinary. What has happened is that within a few years of porn's arrival, the country quickly learned what it was dealing with. Something it had no power to control, something it couldn't even keep small children from encountering. And so modern life simply adjusted itself around the new imperial leader. For the next few episodes, we're exploring state-level ways to rein in hyper-individualism and hyper-capitalism. Here are just two bold ideas, I've got more in the book, to challenge the entertainment industry's dominance and our cultural decay in America. Number one, create community-based entertainment standards. The Restraint formula states should establish voluntary community boards made up of parents, teachers, faith leaders, psychologists, and even content creators to develop local entertainment guidelines, just like the Hays Code once did. These boards wouldn't censor, they would guide. They would ask, what do we want our kids watching? What values should our stories reflect? It's time for communities, not Hollywood corporations alone, to have a voice in what's streamed into our homes. And number 2, ban porn. Yep, ban it. Let's stop pretending this is a harmless industry. Restraint formula states should move to eliminate porn commerce wherever possible, online, on cable TV, and hotels. While full eradication may be impossible, legal bans send a powerful cultural message. Porn is not just content. It's a dehumanizing industry that warps relationships, corrupts youth, and degrades sex. Banning isn't puritanism, it's protection. Okay, so until next time, stay hopeful, protect what's sacred, and remember, America can be fixed if we choose restraint. Have a great day.